Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the Twitch chat. And I don't mean with you, chat, human. I mean with literally chat. Where what happened is I typed the following. We were talking about Kingkiller Chronicles, and I typed the following sentence. Like 7 years blah blah disaster or some shit.
Job done.
And because you have no context, that's crazy, but that's not the important thing. It then says, your message was modified using words banned in this channel.
Are you my master?
I didn't even know that there were words banned in this channel. This is new to me. This is new to me. So I did a test. So the first thing I typed was testing penis. And a lot of people thought that I was about to say testing penis. Like I was touching it to the table and like testing, 1, 2, 3, and just sort of thwacking it. But that's not what I was doing. I was trying to say testing and then space and then the word I was testing, which was penis, and it's not modified. You can say penis in the channel. That is not a banned word. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that sad?
This way.
And then what I typed was testing shit ass balls, and it says your message was modified for using words banned in this channel. And now I want to know which one was the banned word. Like I don't know. What does it look like? Oh, shit is banned. Oh, of course. Of course. Ass is banned. Shit is banned. Wow. But penis is a medical word critical for the mature discourse that Twitch chat is known for. People are saying bleep, bleep, and bleep are banned, but shit ass is not. Oh, that's wonderful, Maynard. Good to see you, Lee. Hope you enjoyed my birthday. Trumpet says I can show you what those banned words are. Alright, show me. Show me. Show me your banned words. Why don't you teach your banned words at him, huh? Alright. The probability of him having...
I have no time for games.
The probability of him having a megalodon are very high. Oh my god, look at this combos work. Like ass, vagina, and butt shit are fine, like I can see them. Grog Monster typed dog space balls, and there it is, and it works. Aaron Toy says, I think you caused an artificial spike in cussing. Or have I created an artificial spike in asterisks?
Let none survive.
The feast of souls begins now.
Look at that. Look at that. Settings channel. Oh my god, look at this. Wait, okay. Banned words. Interesting. Oh, interesting. What was the interesting thing? I forgot to say the interesting thing. Oh my goodness gracious, Glorioski me, oh my, oh why, did I accidentally lie? Forgive me so, my ladies and bros. After this game, I shall tell you so. Dick potato, says Ziff Creature. Dick potato is not banned in here. You can say dick potato, one word. You can't say dick space potato. It'll just be leak potato. But if you want to just quickly say dick potato, just get it out. I understand, I recognize, and you should not be restricted in that regard.
Well played.
What do we do?
Let the pain speak to me. So much there will be pain.
Armageddon, pain. There will be pain. I did not realize I could make P with my lower teeth and my upper lip. Pain. Pulverize them with pain. Penis. Penis. I seriously look so ventriloquial. And what's the right play?
There will be pain.
Caffeine shelters.
Pain. Pain.
Is an illusion.
Penis. That's amazing. The lower teeth, the upper lip. And you can hit the P. Sean, don't do that again. Okay, I'm sorry. I took a minute. I'm sorry. Blah. Some handy information to have. Yeah, Jarrett, you should do that. You should become a celebrity and go onto a talk show and do that and act like it's a major talent, and you'll get huge applause. Everyone will love it, and all the viewers at home will think, anyone can do that. Anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity, in the midst of getting ready for the next game, to tell you a tale that will teach you both about writing, logical thinking, and why it's really frustrating to read opinions on the internet. How is he going to do it? Let's talk about a very basic type of outline structure in writing. A 1-3-1, right? This is the introductory paragraph, and then we have 3 body paragraphs to support the thesis for the introductory paragraph, and then we have a concluding paragraph. And if you don't like writing essays because you're tired and you don't want to go ahead and write, oh my god, 3 to 5 pages, I'm 14, I had a tough day. You can look up 11-sentence paragraphs. In fact, I encourage all of you to look up 11-sentence paragraphs. It's an extremely effective and clear structure to do argumentative writing. And the idea with, again, the 1-3-1 or the 11-sentence paragraph is that you say, here's what I want to talk about. Here's a supporting point, paragraph 1. Here's a supporting point, paragraph 2. And here's a final supporting point, paragraph 3. And then you have the conclusion. Let us do an example. Suppose I say that I want to teach you how to play Zerg versus Terran in Brood War. Zerg versus Terran in Brood War. Okay? I want to talk about Zerg versus Terran in Brood War, how to do it successfully. What's my introductory paragraph going to do? It's going to tell you why the fuck you should care at all. Right? Why the fuck you should care at all. And the thesis is going to be something along the lines of, in order to play Zerg vs. Terran effectively, it's important that you have an extremely good understanding of the cheeses in the middle game. You have very good fundamentals and mechanics in order to get good macro, and that you know exactly how to pull off a good defiler transition. Now, that's an incomplete picture. I'm not trying to state that I am giving you the answer. This is a lesson in writing, not a lesson in StarCraft, right? Early game opening, good fundamentals, and a strong defiler transition. Suppose these are the 3 points, and that's the thesis. So what I would do is I begin paragraph 1, and I would say, oh my gosh, we're going to kick it off by talking about all the early game cheeses that you need to do. And what would that paragraph do? It would describe how some of these work and why it's important, and how if you don't do that, oh my god, I won't even let you get later on into the game. And then the second paragraph would be like, all right, well, if you're alive at this point, you need to have a lot of good mechanics all throughout, and here's a description of those and how they're relevant. And the third paragraph is going to be about that defining, that piece, the defiler transition. Oh, how critical it is. And here's the important thing. The conclusion needs to tie it all to fucking together. You should not go, in conclusion, the best way to play Zerg vs. Terran is to have a good understanding of the cheeses in the opening, to have strong mechanics, and to understand the defiler transition. This is what a lot of novice writers do, particularly high school writers. They just kind of restate the introduction. They almost go in conclusion, and then they paste the introduction, which is fucking bad. What you need to do is state the point. You need to state the point. You need to note. You need to say something like, if you utilize all of these, you will be able to get into a position in the late game where you have an economic lead all the tools to defend the expansions you need, and options to transition as you desire appropriately to Guardians, Ultralisks, or what have you to finish out the game. And a lot of people hear this and they go, right, no, totally, I get it, I totally get it, I get it. And then they just don't do this, right? They just don't do this. And I was one of these people. I was one of these people that was like, oh, structure, I totally get it, yeah. And it didn't fucking make sense to me. Until I had a brilliant professor. He was a high school teacher, but I'll still call him a professor because he deserves all the praise in the world. His name was Andy Hagedorn. Amazing, Professor Hagedorn. He presented me with the following. This is even a story I've told before of how does a murder trial work? Whenever you're constructing an argument that you want to present in an essay, or an argument you want to present just in life in general, when you're trying to convince another person of a thing via rigor and logic, think of how a murder trial works. Remember that 1-3-1 that I just talked about? 1, you're trying to let the jury know what the fuck they're doing here. I believe that Day 9 murdered DJ Wheat. He murdered him. Oh my god, that's the whole point of the essay. That's the whole point of the trial. I am claiming that Day 9 murdered DJ Wheat. Ah. And you know what the thesis sentence is? It's explained to the jury basically why. It's because Day 9's always hated DJ Wheat, and his glove was found at the crime scene, and Sean's alibi didn't check out. And you're seeing there, oh my god, those are the three paragraphs. Oh my god, that makes sense. And what are you going to do in the paragraphs? What would you do in a murder trial? You would state why the fuck that's relevant to the murder. And here's the best thing, here's my favorite part of Mr. Hagedorn, Professor Hagedorn's thing, is that he said, now think about the conclusion, the thing that everyone messes up. Imagine if a murder lawyer said, and in conclusion, Sean always hated DJ Wheat and his glove was found at the murder scene and his alibi didn't check out. A restating of the thesis, right? Which is what so many people fuck up. Doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. It's stupid. The conclusion is all these together paint a picture of Sean being a vicious, homicidal dickhead who killed Marcus. Fuck. You see? And this sort of connection, I went, wow, that's really interesting. And we can expound upon this example to look at all problems that happen in argument, right? Where people start one place and then they get derailed, right? In a murder trial, you would never say something like, you know, if people talking about Sean's glove at the crime scene, you'd never say something like, well, gloves are critical for keeping hands warm. People go like, sure, but that's not what we're talking about. Like, that's not relevant to the murder case, not relevant to the point. And I bring up these examples because there is one such instance of things that I see happening upon the internet in terms of argument and structure that just kind of makes me go, ugh. Which is you start at the conclusion, you provide no logical sequence of evidence. You start at the conclusion, and you talk about how bad that conclusion is. Imagine if we were in a murder trial, and the lawyer said something like, oh my gosh, Day 9 killed DJ Wheat. Jury, is it right to take another person's life? Would you want your life taken away? Well, here's Sean. And Sean took Marcus's life away. Sean could have been friends with Marcus. They could have co-casted together. They even did once upon a time, but he squandered that when he murdered him ruthlessly. A lot of emotion, but wait a minute. What's the evidence? What's the evidence? Right? It's stating the conclusion that you would like to gather from evidence, and then it's starting from that conclusion, and it's growing. It's growing from there. And a lot of people listening are going, well, yeah, that would be stupid in a murder trial. Of course, that makes sense. It's totally good. But I bring this up in the context of argument on the internet because I see this happening in a lot of places. Like, for instance, in one of my favorite examples of this. And now I'm going to be very precise when I say this, because I know there's going to be a lot of emotional charge when people watch this video. I know it's very natural. I want to just do a brief tangent. There's a difference between the position and the argument. If I tell you the sky is blue, you'll probably agree with my position, because that's correct. But if my argument is that it's blue because fish fart into the air, bringing that blue ocean water up, and that is why the sky is blue, you're going to say, agree with your position, your argument's wrong. I am going to make a comment about a problematic argument. Okay? Does everyone see the difference between that? I'm not even going to state an opinion on a position or a thought on a position or provide anything to that. I'm just going to criticize an argument, because here's the thing. Okay? Okay? On the particular topic of female streamers, loaded with controversy, there is this tendency I see to go to the conclusion that there is a bad thing happening, and then to just draw from that, right? Female streamer is just using her looks in order to get views, and it's stealing from other people, and bad, sad, bad, cry, frown, bad. It's horrible, evil, wicked, how horrible all the things that are a result are, and oh my god, I can't, and she's not even as good at the game as the literal world champion. I have a bad, sad, bad, cry, frown, anger, bad. And I see almost no sequence of arguments that lead up to that. Right? There's no. This viewer claimed to be a world championship level player, and yet is not as good as any of the top 100 players in the game. And this sort of dishonesty bothers me, because I believe that this person is purporting a false image. These sort of things that, again, I think arguments can be made about a variety of topics on the pro and the con side, but I would like them to be arguments. I would like them to actually have something. Because in the murder trial, if I say piece of evidence 1, piece of evidence 2, piece of evidence 3, this concludes that Day 9 murdered Marcus, you can say, wait a minute, no. If we look at that evidence, that piece of evidence doesn't necessarily conclude that. It opens it up to a possibility, but it could also be that here are 4 other things. Here are 4 other things that could be concluded from that same piece of evidence. So we have to be careful, right? If there's someone who's coming up and saying, hey, said female streamer is a problem because of A and B and C and D, and it says A and B and C and D, or excuse me, being consistent, it should be 1, 3, 1. They have A and B and C. These are the issues, and therefore we can only conclude that badness, bad, sad, bad things are happening that are cry, frown, bad. But because I don't see that very often, I'm certain that it exists. I'm certain that this is out there somewhere. I'm certain that there are people who can identify clear problems in various streamers, male and female, and provide good arguments for it. But in particular, when I see things about female streamers, there is a consistency of a lack of A, B, C. That's my spiel. How is the spiel? We have apparently 30% of traditional viewership because something's going wrong on the Twitch side. My stream's cut out a few times. I don't know, not dropping frames. But that was my spiel. It was a good spiel. We got some people to see that. Some people to see that. And you'll notice that I cleverly did not even state my opinion on the matter. Isn't that remarkable how I was able to do that? Isn't that incredible? Good spiel. Strong spiel. I'm blurry? Wait, I'm blurry? I'm not blurry. Blurry or sparkly? Blurry? Wait a minute. I adjust this focus before every single show. Fucking shit. Ah! Let's see here. A rouge. Slamming. Blurry. God, I adjusted every show. Every damn show. And it always looks so clear. Ugh. I'm so embarrassed, because that was a good spiel, and someone's going to want to clip it, or take a video of it, or link to this, and it's going to be blurry. Look at the stubble resolution. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like that very much. Oh, you're such a good Sean. Oh, yes. Oh, he likes it. And suddenly he became AutoCAD Dad. Should have shaved before the spiel. I mean, do you like, would anyone be curious for my not very well-formed argument on female streamers? Would you be interested in this? Would you be interested in this? Would be interested in this? Volf says, check out the sick speech Dane I made with his sick charisma the other day. And it's like me trying to make a speech and then just vomiting all over myself and like, oh no! Like, okay. And here's why I say, let's create some ground rules, okay? Create some ground rules. Let us create some ground rules for this. To be clear, here's the sort of person that I am. If someone discusses with me calmly, clearly, carefully listens to what I say, goes, mm-hmm, yeah, right, uh-huh. Well, consider this perspective. If they do that with me, there is no opinion that I hold that I will not change. I mean, I do this on air all the time where I'm like, I think this and I believe this, and then someone says something in the chat and I go, huh, that's an interesting point, that's a good point. Huh, I didn't think of it that way, that's a really good... Like, I don't think that the opinions that I have are necessarily truth by any measure, especially when I have not...
What we do.
What is that even? I'm going to kill it. I really don't know what deck he is. So I'm gonna do this.
Are you my master?
You must be N'Zoth and want to help clear the board.
By the power of Ragnaros, I have the
Shield slam. Okay, let me do this.
This
So I'm going to talk about this, but I want you to know that I am by no means trying to necessarily decree an obvious truth, and if you disagree, I want you to know you're welcome to say, hey, I wanted to let you know that I disagreed with your point, and here's my reasoning why. I'm not the sort of person, here's what I'm not. I'm not a person who goes, you know the way it really fucking is? Here's the way it really fucking is, and fuck anyone else. Because, no, not fuck anyone else who disagrees with me. People who disagree with me are like some of the most interesting and most wonderful people I know. Like, my best friend Tristan disagrees with things I say constantly, and he is like my favorite person to talk to. I was late for this show because I was talking to him. Do you see how much prefacing we're doing? Do you see how much careful prefacing we're doing? Very careful, being very precise. And I will also state that this argument is not fully formed, as I said before. It's very poorly formed, because it is. It's just I have not sat down and constructed something of rigor. But here's a little nugget of something that is going on. That I just see I could work on this argument a little bit. Do you see how long I'm spending doing this? Because I see such little calm discourse on the internet that, damn it, I want to fucking promote it. I want to promote it. Okay? Are you ready? Here's my statement. You ready? So here it comes. I have a statement coming. It's gonna be coming. It's gonna be here soon. Here it is. Are you ready? It's coming now. There are a lot of arguments that I see for like badness in terms of what I see as see described as flirting or sexuality or not making good content but just having sexuality in place of something high quality.
My shield for Argus.
And my traditional answer to this is, should I brawl? I think I brawl. I think I brawl. My traditional answer is not should I brawl. Let me brawl first. God, I am so sick. My traditional answer to this is that if these are criticisms of the quality of the broadcast, and that's the statement, then who are you talking to when you make that argument? Is the statement that... Because as far as I'm concerned, when I tune into content that I don't watch, I promptly turn it off. Oh, Aaron Touay does a very good comment. Says, the conversation we were having was preloaded for both sides. This conversation centered around female streamers, which makes it sound like people are against women in streaming, when in reality we're talking about sexual-centered content with the scope, within the scope of streaming. Yeah. I get what you mean there. I'm not being as nuanced as I need to be, so apologies for just not doing that. Oh my god, fucking sick. If there's a criticism or an issue with the quality of the content, maybe I tune into the streamer and there is too much sexuality or flirting and not enough focus, the viewer has all the power. This is one of like the big lessons that I have learned as a streamer, is that I don't have any power. If you don't like me, you just turn it off and things plummet. And as an example, I've done analyses of my viewership over the course of an episode, and if I'm telling a story that's not funny, I can see up to like a 10% drop over the course of 90 seconds because of how not funny I am. And that's like, holy shit, I get no room. I get no wiggle room here, man. Oh my god. Oh, the viewer has all the power. And I see this sort of, I guess I'll call it, I see sort of personality where there's someone who tunes into a stream, sees that a number is high, they then can't understand it, and just stay there. They just stay there and go, who the fuck is watching this? How the fuck does anyone enjoy this content? Etc., 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 etc. How? Who? What the heck? How? And they stay. They stay there. And that is, I don't understand that.
Your history.
I'm not saying there is no way to understand that, and that there is. And that if you do that, you're bad. I'm saying I really don't understand that.
So much pain.
Also, I have so much armor. Herp derp. And there's similar types of patterns you'll see elsewhere, which is like, this subreddit makes me so angry. And I say, then why do you watch it? Or why do you read it?
I have no time for
You
games.
just don't have to read it. Let's see here. I think I want to just try to go for the kill.
Take my shield.
Welcome to to the Grand Tournament, champion.
Why do you read it? It's like a really interesting thing. Or it's like, I'm talking to so-and-so and they really piss me off whenever we talk about politics. I'm like, well, you could... It's interesting. And I don't really understand that. And if the answer is that there's a part of the human psyche or there's a personality type that, oh my god, fucking shit, no, bad, sad, cry, frown, bad. So, okay, I still think we're gonna win. And I think that there is an argument to be made that is... Well, here are the Twitch terms of service. They're clearly enumerated. But there is someone who is very close to the edge. Maybe arguably over, maybe not quite over. I think this is an acceptable argument. This says, here are some... Oh my god, shit. This says, here are some clearly... here are some clearly established rules. And something that is existing outside of that. I think this is an... Zach. I think this is a strong position. Because it's not about ethics or morality, it's simply about a sharply defined rule set. It's about a sharply defined rule set and whether it follows that or not. And I think that there is... And this is very objective, right? This is not even making a value judgment. This is saying, here is this person. It doesn't matter his behavior, or not behavior, it doesn't matter anything other than behavior as it relates to this. That's very straightforward. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just going to keep trying to hold off on this as long as possible. And I think it's a fine argument, but then there's this dangerous thing that happened, which is a person is making just a subjective judgment about how bad, sad, bad this behavior is, and oh, it's so bad, and judgmental, ethical, moral, more amorphous points, like content shouldn't be about that, like making comments like this. These things start to seep in after using that as a basis for argument. I just remember that he's in a Zoth. I should probably just go ham right now. I should just get this guy out hard. I'm gonna kill him. Sap it. Sap my dude. Fiazide says, my opinion on your view of being excited about people disagreeing with you is probably going to be lost in the void of Twitch chat, but it's pulled to talk about anyways. No, I'm reading you right now. Look at that. I'm hesitant to share that perspective because it seems the vast majority of people have no interest in having a spirited debate that shares respect for both people's views. It turns me off to voicing any opposing view. I'd rather just not engage in that sort of foolishness. I really understand where you're coming from. To be clear, I do not like having discussions with someone who is not doing that. I have a lot of good diffusing behavior.
Well played.
I don't really talk in a threatening tone. I don't go, you know what you think and what you're saying. You know, I don't like get all worked up very easily. Oh, we killed him. Tight. I tend not to do that. But it's hard and stressful and unproductive in a lot of circumstances, and I don't think people should be forced to have these sorts of discussions. I don't think that people need to get in the shit with people a lot, because it is stressful and it is hard and it is unproductive a lot. My goal by bringing this up, my goal by bringing up this particularly emotionally charged topic, is that I just hope that it will make people stop and go, huh, I don't think there's anything wrong with being sexual in a stream. For some people, their sexuality is very important to them, and I don't think that I should be judgmental about that. And maybe when someone is critical of that, maybe I have been rushing to be angry and upset. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. Maybe I should just listen more calmly. Maybe to someone else who's been very vitriolic about that, maybe they should go, oh, man, let me stop and let me actually ask if my perspective that something unethical or bad is happening here, maybe that's wrong and I should just calm down and listen. I am not necessarily saying anyone who wants to have a discussion with me, let's go right now. My real underlying goal is that people try to have these types of discussions more. Whew. Because as a content creator, it takes a hell of a lot of time to just do a whole bunch of one-on-ones. I'll be right back. We'll listen to some music. Whoa, on a break.